Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for inviting us in on this Christmas evening at 6 o'clock. Perhaps you're getting ready to sit down for a Christmas dinner. So we want to begin tonight with our Rich Nye, who takes us to a restaurant on the near north side of Indy, known for the best soul food in town. And today, they served up free Christmas meals.
Volunteers filled the kitchen
Keep it coming.
at Country Kitchen.
We're frying 9,000 chicken wings. I can't even count the number of potatoes, fresh potatoes that we are doing. See, these meals that we're preparing today is like meals they have in the restaurant. It's just good, delicious food.
Country Kitchen started the soulful Christmas dinner 17 years ago. Every meal that rolls out of the kitchen includes fried chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes, and a roll.
Merry Christmas.
They expected to serve at least 3,000 meals this year, free to anyone who showed up at the restaurant at 19th and College. But an army of volunteers also took orders and organized deliveries for those who could not be there in person.
You want me to put this in the box?
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
When the village comes together, it's like a family, and that's what we got to continue to do, to gather around those individuals that are in need to be able to do what we do for Christmas.
This event is much more than just a free hot meal. Kids can go home with a coat, hat and gloves, and look at all these toys to choose from.
All right. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you.
Children left with an armful of toys.
Can I see it? Paw Patrol?
It's a blessing. It's heartwarming to know that you're making an impact on someone. You're giving them a hot meal, you're giving them, as I said, the warm essentials, and you're giving their children toys. So to see the smiles on their faces, it makes me smile also.
And I bet you watching are smiling now too. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
We are smiling. What a great effort. The owner of Country Kitchen told us her family doesn't even exchange gifts anymore. Instead, she says the soulful Christmas dinner is their Christmas celebration. Well, as you know, the holidays can certainly be lonely for some people. So an Indianapolis man created this tradition, bringing people together on Christmas. Coffee, Donuts, and Love return today for a 6th year after a 2-year hiatus. The creator told us he was inspired by a couple from India who would bake mince pies and invite anyone to their shop over the holidays. So when he learned many of his own coffee shop employees didn't even have a place to spend Christmas, this gathering was born. But he also has a message for everyone.
Everybody has someone in our lives that hasn't heard from us in a while. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a child, maybe it's an uncle or an aunt, somebody that we just haven't been with in a while that would love to hear from us. And so my tag is, your mom really wants to hear from you. Give her a call.
That is great advice. He says the goal is to make the afternoon feel like an invitation to a family. And if you're looking to get out of the house for a last-minute Christmas celebration, you've got a couple of options tonight. Winter Lights at Newfields is open until 8. Tickets start at $25. Over at the State Fairgrounds, Christmas Nights of Lights just opened for another night of shining bright. You need to reserve your spot ahead of time for this event. They're available between 8 and 10:30, starting at $38. Indy DPW tells us that you can drop off your real Christmas tree at designated areas beginning today. Residents here in Marion County can drop off their tree at 7 designated parks. DPW says all trees have to be free of any ornaments, tinsel, lights, and decorations. The service is available through January 1st. Want to warn you, though, anyone caught illegally dumping their tree could face up to a $3,000 fine. We've got a list of all the locations right now on WTHR.com. Want to give you a live look at downtown Indianapolis on this Christmas night. Didn't see much of the sun earlier today. We are heading into the 60s and tracking the return of rain. Rob's in tonight for Angela, so we've got unseasonably warm temperatures. But boy, we've got some big changes coming our way.
Yeah, I mean, the warm temperatures, I like them. It may not necessarily feel like Christmas, but When we get to Sunday, there's going to be a dramatic up and down.
Right.
Until that time, it's going to stay mild.
Okay.
And with all the mild temperatures, fog is going to be a concern, and yes, there's going to be a chance for a little bit of rain or drizzle. So let's show you where we are temperature-wise. We're sitting at 49, but there's a bit of variety here. Low 40s to the north, nearly 60 to the south as this boundary has been sitting with us. The concerns that I have for tonight and into tomorrow, especially if you're going to be traveling, there's two. And it's pretty much the same two we've been telling you about for the last couple of days. A little bit of patchy fog may be developing. Not so much over the next several hours, but I think by tomorrow morning, I think we're going to see the visibilities on the lower side. Dense fog may begin to develop. And then also that chance for maybe a little drizzle in the forecast. Not a lot, not expecting things to cause too many problems, but want to make you aware of that. More clouds than anything else, and temperatures even staying mild during the overnight, likely down into the 40s for tonight. Watch for a little drizzle. Tomorrow, we're back close to 60 degrees. We do have more chances for rain, and I'll talk a lot more about that big up and down roller coaster. Wait until you see the lows by Tuesday morning coming up.
All right, Rob, we'll see you in a little bit. 6 people were hospitalized after their home caught fire this morning here in Indianapolis. It is one of 4 house fires now under investigation tonight by the Indianapolis Fire Department. As our Jenna Webster explains tonight, it took an act of courage to get everyone out.
Not what anyone wants to wake up to Christmas morning. I was talking to a couple neighbors right next door, a young girl who says they were opening Christmas presents this morning when she looked out the window and saw what she thought was a car on fire. And then she looked and noticed it was the front of her neighbor's house.
The whole front of the house is on fire. I think fire is on the front porch.
Okay. We have a major house fire.
It's really bad.
A dozen people, neighbors, and people driving by called 911.
They're running out. They're running out.
7 people live in the East Indianapolis home.
My house is on fire.
The grandmother tells the Indianapolis Fire Department she woke up around 9:15 to smoke alarms, the smell of smoke, and saw the front porch on fire and extending to the 2nd floor.
Everybody able to get out? We're trying. We're trying to the door.
At the same time, a neighbor was at the back door and ended up kicking it in, trying to notify the family. The father realized his 5-year-old son was still inside, ran upstairs, and found him in a bunk bed before running them both out of the burning home.
Oh, they're in the backyard. They're in the backyard.
2 children were taken to the hospital. 1 is in serious condition. 4 adults were also hospitalized. 1 dog and 1 cat died in the fire, and as of Thursday evening, 2 dogs were still unaccounted for, but 3 others were rescued by IFD. Fire investigators are still working to figure out what caused this fire. In Indianapolis, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Tonight, a man is in serious condition after a fire this morning on the near northwest side of Indy. Firefighters tell us the 62-year-old man was using a Coleman stove on his bed to cook breakfast when the bedding caught fire. All of this unfolding around 8:15 this morning on 34th, not far from MLK. The man was injured trying to put the fire out. His 5 dogs made it out on their own, and we are told they are okay. Right now, police here in Indianapolis are investigating a deadly crash on the east side. This happened around 2:45 this morning near 38th and Midhofer. Police tell us at least 1 person died. The IMPD fatal crash team tonight is looking into the cause of this wreck. Ken Nunn, the prominent Indiana attorney with the catchy commercials, has died. His law office made that announcement on social media, confirming Nunn passed away yesterday morning. Nunn started his law firm in Bloomington back in 1967 and has reportedly grown into the largest personal injury practice based here in Indiana. The social media post says Nunn will be remembered as a pioneer, philanthropist, and an IU fan. Ken Nunn was 85.